Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just Threat where I am playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we got the Machinist and the Dark Knight job. And in this episode we see just a pole in the middle of my camera. No, in this episode we're gonna go and do some more of these job quests and continue unlocking more abilities. Alright, my camera's not going to be able to do the thing that I usually wanted to do. Let's go and do it the other way down. Whoop. I had a feeling you'd come by today, Lynn. And sure enough, there you are, eager to pick up where we left off. Let's start with a question then. You must be burning with several after that last affair. Huh. What was that voice I heard? Ah yes, the voice. The one you heard when you first touched the crystal. An excellent question, but a difficult one to answer. Some say it is a beacon, guiding the Dark Knight to her true calling. Who is it, you ask? Only you can discover that, for each knight must hearken to a different voice. As you grow more accustomed to drawing upon your dark side, you will come to hear it more clearly. Communion will hasten this process, but we dare not conduct our rites here, under the watchful eye of the Holy See. We will make for southern Thanalan, for Little Alamega. Right. Pray, go to Frey in Little Alamega. Punctual as ever, I see. Also really close. Get away from me, lady. Communion, lest you... Jesus. Communion, lest you worry, is rather simple. It is a ritual in which one nurtures the darkness within so that you may channel it more effectively in battle. Do not, however, presume the risks to be any less than before. Should you partake of it in excess, you will die. Or worse. So before we begin, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to kill something for me. Something feral, something fearsome, which will push you to your limits. I want to see you thrive in that moment. That way I will know you are ready. Ask Gundobald. He should know of a suitable creature. A pleasure to see you again, Lynn. Do you require assistance? Training, well, if you seek dangerous beasts for that purpose, then. The Red Labyrinth is home to pice, notorious for their size and vigor. Our trappers take great pains to avoid their nests, and those who do not bear scars for their folly. Those do bear scars for their folly, there we go. I pity the man who dies without scars, but these pies sound promising. Tell me more. They have attacked caravans loaded with outgoat carcasses before. The smell drives them into a frenzy. This should serve to draw them out of hiding. Lynn, I'll always be grateful for what you did. Those young ones were on the verge of making a terrible mistake. So consumed with anger were they. I hesitated to act, even though I saw it burning within them, as I see it burning within you now. You seek the darkness within. I will not claim to understand your meaning, but I wish you well in your training. Let's go. It's misty in southern Thanalan. Or foggy. It just says fog, so. Yeah. Ugh. Ah, they're close. I can feel their eyes upon us. Well, we're here. Show me who you are, Lynn. Show me what you can do. I'm waiting. One would have to sink her teeth into the scruff of a newborn billy goat to get meat fresher than this. Ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-bum. Crack Bite Heist. I do still adore the freaking effects of the sword though. When you swing the blade around, it creates like these lines at the tip of your blade. That's still really satisfying. That wasn't so hard now, was it? To mete out justice, to protect the weak from the strong, and so forth. You yourself must be strong. Strength is pain. Strength is suffering. Strength is sacrifice. You must prepare for communion, but not here. Before more pies are drawn by the smell. Beep, 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 beep. Can I fly high enough to fly over this? No. You damnable skybox at a realm aboard. You look ready. Good. Now listen well. Close your eyes and hold out your hand towards me. Breathe deep through your nose. Let the air fill your lungs. Then let it pass from your lips. Slower. Slower. Listen to my voice. Listen to your heartbeat. Listen for the other. Attuning. With every breath you grow lighter and slip further into the abyss. One foot in front of the other, over and over again. To the ends of the world and back again. And if time has no end, still forward and onward, over and over again. So, what did you hear? Interesting, but not terribly informative. But do not lose heart. That you were able to hear it once more is progress enough. I believe you will come to understand its words, and its will in due time. I should mention that in some instances the voice is said to be that of another, one whom the Dark Knight is fated to seek out. If that is the case, you may have a long journey ahead of you. So you would welcome such a journey. There's something to be said for it, and for travel for that matter, to roam free and help those in need. Yet no good deed goes unpunished, does it? I knew a woman once, wanted to be a hero, do great things, and so she did. The songs always end there, but life doesn't, does it? There are temptations more deadly than the dark side, Lyn. You should have learned this by now, but you haven't. You will. The communion is ended, and with it our time together. But we shall meet again, as we did before. Cambrita! As we unlock a new ability! Blood Weapon. So, what does Blood Weapon do? Grants you 5 stacks of Blood Weapon, each stack restoring MP upon landing weapon skills or spells. Effect does not stack when hitting multiple targets with a single attack. Alright, so. How much is this again? I think it's like 600 MP maybe, whenever you hit an enemy, but you can in any case like get a sizable amount of MP back. So let me just go and test this out on this freaking Potter Wasp over here. If I use this, then I will get 600 MP. Per attack that I do, in combination with like the 600 that you can get from Siphon Strike, and all of that jazz. All right, that is it for Dark Knight for the moment. Next up, let's go and do the next quest in the Astrologian questline. Right. Yeah. The hiccups never end. Also, another ability that I got off camera is Aspected Benefic, which is a spell that cures for 200 HP, for 200 cure potency, just like straight up, and then it also gives you gives your target a regen effect of 200. So not only do you give them a regen, a pretty decent one, you also give them a small heal in the beginning, which can be quite handy, I would say, especially for like DPS. Anyway. Greetings, then. The stars tell me you have been rigorously following Leviva's training regimen, though I harbor doubts that go out and do things while I traipse about the realm constitutes a regimen. Still, she is all we have, so I suppose we have to make do, and, as the stars would have it, she just sent word that she's ready for us to attempt the opening of the second Heaven's Gate. You're aware of the 7 heavens, are you not? Just as there are 7 realms of the underworld, so too are there 7 realms of the firmament. Each of the first 6 represents one of the 6 basic elements: earth, ice, water, wind, lightning, and fire. The 7th and final heaven represents the element's astral polarity. The first 6 heavens are represented by the 6 constellations, which each resolve around the pole star. Astrologians of the Chardian school draw on the ether contained in the celestial bodies represented in the constellations by unlocking or opening the gate to heaven that constellation is correlated with. There's no actual gate. Think of it more a portal to the soul. You're opening your mind, allowing for attunement with these distant bodies, much like one attunes with an etherite, but on a far grander scale. Now this may come as a revelation, but Hydaelyn is not flat like most believe. It is, in fact, a sphere so large that when we walk upon it, it only appears to be flat, because it is a sphere there are some locations better suited than others for observing certain constellations. That is what Leviva is doing right now, finding a location in which the next Heaven's Gate will rise to a position directly in mid-heaven, where it will be easiest to attune with. And it seems she has found one, near the final prayer in Eastern Thanalan. It's raining rain. Hallelujah. I don't know. Alright, Leviva. Here at last, I see. Bandits have kept poor Kumperain busy, harrying our camp since we arrived. I do believe the old man enjoys the excitement, however. I'm certain it beats wiping the arse of a noble brat whoring away his uncle's fortune while dreaming of becoming a real astrologian. I am very well capable of wiping my own arse, thank you very much, and Kumperain has never once complained of his duties. Of course he hasn't. Your uncle pays him to smile and nod, and I'm sure a comfortable position in the pillars beats chasing after clout rats in a broom to flavor his soup. Are we here to trade banter, my lady? Because I was led to believe we'd be unlocking a celestial gate. You will find Kumperain has a good many uses, and I haven't the faintest doubt that he will most ably handle any ruffians who happen to come stumbling about looking for prey. Now then, and Janikinar, we must be patient and wait for the constellation to reach its highest and brightest point, a point at which its flow of ether is the strongest in relation to Hydaelyn. There, Lyn, the balance. Focus on the constellation and attune to its power. The balance represents the heaven of fire, a realm made prosperous by the blessings of the traders, but at the same time one whose equilibrium is maintained by the divine judgment of Azema, the warden. As Amos' might will empower those who would take up their blades and meet divine punishment in the name of the Sun Goddess. And thus has the balance burned crimson in your hearts, unlocking the gates to the second heaven. Now, let us speed ourselves to the next location, little old amigo. Why so soon, you ask? Would you rather that I had you to commit yourself to another several moons of using malefics to put down hedge moles? I thought not. Slow nod. Combine it to and get slawed. That's... Be patient, Lyn. Allow the stars to make their ascent into mid-heaven. Once they have, survey the skies, and let the power run through you. Surveying. Stand around, looking left and right. Raise your eyes to the stars and witness the violet glow of the spire. In the third heaven rises an iron tower of spinning gears and taut springs constructed by the builder himself. It is assailed without cease by the jealous Rhalgr, but the destroyer's mighty 11 bolts only serve to power the spire's clockwork soul. It is through the blessings of both creation and destruction that strength is granted to she who sees her stars rise under the sign. You have now opened the gate, and its power is yours to command. Using the Arcana to draw upon the powers of the stars they represent. This path we walk as astrologians is called the Royal Road. It can be treacherous and fraught with peril, but it can lead men and women to greatness. Yet another slow nod. Another slod. Your realm is quite a paradox. On one hand, it is full of life, magic, and wonder, one of the richest lands on all Hydaelyn. On the other hand, it is literally brimming over with strife. Take little amigo, the wretched souls displaced from their homes by the flames of war, or Ishgard, mired in its own pointless conflict with an enemy so old it does not even remember why it fights. The foolish believe that it is their fate to suffer, and so they turn their gaze away from the stars, when those selfsame stars have the power to show people there are many paths. But that power can only be channeled by the few, those like me and you, and to a lesser extent, Jeanne Cunard. And it is our duty to use that power to benefit those who remain lost or misguided. Remember that, and maybe one day you will truly become my grandfather's successor. That is exactly what I've been trying to tell the astrologians of my home nation. Why disregard something that has the power to grant succor to the wounded, the power to lift the downtrodden, to strengthen the weak? The answer to that is easy. Empowering those without power lessens the power of those who already have it. Heal the weak so they might rise up and topple those who made them weak. Why would anyone in a position of power do that? Even our great nation of learning is corrupted by this manner of thought. We hoard our knowledge so that we might remain the brightest. Why do you think that it took so long for Professor Mace to visit you, Jeanne Cunard? Yes, I know what he told you, but that was not the whole of it. Those of the ruling quarter did their damnedest to stand in the way of my grandfather, worried that his passion for his field would rekindle widespread interest in Charlian astrology. They only allowed him his recent trip, knowing he was now too old to do aught of the sorts. Fortunately, the ruling quarter did not realize I would be accompanying my grandfather. Then, these past turns of the sun have been most fruitful. Yet while you have opened half the heaven's gates, there is still much of what we like to refer to as a royal road ahead of you. Take what you have learned here in the southern deserts and transform that knowledge into strength. If you wish to know more of the royal road, I suggest that you discuss it with Jenna Kennard, back in Ishgard. If my grandfather is to be believed, his time transcribing tomes back at the Studium Scriptorium should have left him more than capable of handling that task. Jesus, mate. Fancy words, Magic Man. I also just remembered something. That is not what I wanted to do. I also remembered that lightspeed is not on that button. Could that be a 5 button, maybe? Yeah, it's not over there. That's a different button. That goes over there. Ah. Frida. Big butt. You wish to know more of the royal roads? I seem to recall it have something to do with reassessing the attribution of an arcanum before reading it, which would result in a slight alteration of predestination. Or perhaps it had something to do with the kings and queens on the minor arcana? It was over a decade ago. And we get nothing for it, yay! Anyway, time to equip my gun. Greetings then, have you become practiced at defeating your foes from a distance? With the range of our weapons, even skyborn dragons will learn to respect the threat posed by a trained machinist. Despite the proven efficacy of our cannons and ballistas, however, many knights of Ishgard continue to eschew firearms in favor of the spear and the sword. Ah, the creaking chains of tradition. Hark! The very creaking I spoke of draws near. Ugh, this stifling heat and sulphurous stench. I can scarcely breathe, and worse, I can scarcely bear the sight of mine own son garbed in such filthy garments. Why must you persist in this infatuation with smithing, of all things? It's called machinistry, father, and you need not come at all if the air in the workshop so offends you. Would that I could shed this onerous duty, but as manufactory chief, I must needs supervise its operations. Supervise? You barely visit but once a moon, and relegate every management task to from alone. And what of it? Smithing is a commoner's profession, even as overseer is the role of a noble. Wait, what? I think I read that wrong. As one of the 4 founders of Ishgard, House Helenard enjoys a privileged position, but misfortune has waged a constant war of attrition on our forces, and our claim to that position grows weak. Thus must we attend to our duties with uncommon zeal, even duties as common as this one. But we shall not suffer this mean predicament forever. No, my son, you will reclaim the honor of our family with spear in hand. You must needs become a knight of skill, non-pareil, I guess, and bear our flag onto the field of battle. Father, the face of war changes with each passing day. Soon will come a time where machinists shall form the bulk of our armies. Should you cling to these stagnant ideas of yours, you will be swept over by the wave that carries us forward. I tire of your flights of fancy, Stephanivian. See, this fucking name. Without successes to back them, your arguments ring as empty as my treasure room. The Holy See has announced a tourney. You'll best serve your house by returning to the practice field, and thence claim in victory in the melee. I regret that you were subject to our squabbles, but Father's attitude is sadly representative of the greater part of Ishgard's populace. Their hats may as well be made from the stone of the city walls. I have, however, designed a weapon of such brilliance that the light of its potential will penetrate even the densest minds. Rostenstall and Joy will accompany me to Raincatcher Gully to gather materials for the prototype. Why don't you join us? Practicing your marksmanship in Ishgard will only invite suspicion and ridicule, and this is the perfect opportunity to receive further tutelage from Rostenstall. That you might also train under the warm rays of Lanash's sun is simply a fortuitous boon. I think I burned my hand. When I removed... Yeah, I burned my hand. That's what happens when I remove pizza and I'm not careful. And I burned my hand. Well, it's not a severe burn, so it's fine. I just noticed, like, this part of my hand feels a little weird. Looks at it, oh. It's red. Hair Claw. Right. Rostenstall. Also Grass Raptor, yay. Anyway, get out of here. Got yourself dragged out here as well, did you? The boss said he needed some Magitech part, and I just had to open my big gob about his guardian wreck in the gully. It's been rusting the air for nigh on 5 years now, so any useful bits and bobs was likely stripped not long ago. But seeing as you've trekked all this bloody way, you might as well see how far you've come in your shooting. Go say hello to the other two, and keep them safe while they concentrate on their scrounging. They're scrounging. That's a huge bitch. ffXIV. Ah, you came. Splendid. Though I'm afraid the rewards have yet to meet the risks of this monster-infested crash site. And speaking of monsters, I really like this character. I like ffXIV. It's pretty good. The exciting combat. More combat. Practicing your marksmanship, are you? Maybe I'll have half a moment's peace to look for this part while you watch my back. Ah, not again. Take care of that, would you, Lynn? That's a lot of boys. Can't wait until I can get the skill from this job quest, because that is a mighty fine skill that we're about to get. Although I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to use it in the content that I'm doing currently. With that I mean like the roulettes, the way that I'm leveling up. You've been working at those shots, haven't you, lass? I'd say you're good and ready to... Nah, bloody hell, that's a big one. You're up, Lynn. That's a huge bitch. Again. But this time it's fighting me. Speaking of things fighting me. Aye, nice form, lass. Tightly gripped shots. Now, was it just me playing my eyes playing tricks, or did someone other than guts drop out of that thing's belly? Looks like a bit of machinery. The boss would have a better idea than me. Stop attacking me, you stupid fucking animals. It's my territory now, bitch. Confine it all this way and not to show for it, aside from your obvious improvements in marksmanship. Of course. What's that you have there? Magitech gyroscope, 41. Several metal rings hinged together to spin and rotate independently of one another. What this fantastic creation could be used for is beyond you. And this spilled out along with the creature's innards, you say? Extraordinary. What a fury. Do you know what this is? You found the very component I was searching for. That's wonderful, my lordship. Our fortunes took a turn for the better the moment you walked through the workshop doors, Lynn. For a rare magic part and a base spell ain't fortune, that's bloody sorcery. Or so I think if I didn't see you shoot the damn thing with my own 2 eyes. Nice work there, by the way, Lynn. I can already hear the whirring of my invention come to life. Come, we must return to the manufactory at once. Manufactory. Let's... Back to the foundation. That was weird. I have no idea where that came from. Alrighty, let's fucking go. That truly was a stroke of luck. With that wretchedly rare gyroscope in hand, it will only be a matter of time until I have a working prototype. Instead of twiddling your thumbs until its completion, however, you shall have your hands full mastering a new skill. Wasn't all? Bade me pass it on to you the particulars of Heat Blast. Train hard, my friend. Hallelujah. Heat Blast. So anyway, I started blasting. So how does Heat Blast work, my friends? Well, let me tell you. Let me go and tell you about that freaking Heat Blast over there. Anyway. Delivers an attack with a potency of 200. Reduces the recast time of both a Gauss round and Ricochet by 15 seconds. Can only be executed when firearm is overheated. Other actions upon execution. Wait, what? Its weapon skill does not share a recast timer with any other actions. Upon execution, the recast timer for this action will be applied to all other weapon skills and magic actions. So the way that this works is if you go into hypercharge mode, you would then, you would already be out of Gauss rounds, hopefully. And then you would be able to use Heat Blast, and that would give, basically half of a charge of a round Gauss, for a Gauss round back. So the idea, basically, later on you get Ricochet, which is Gauss round with an AoE. So the idea would then be that you use, one Heat Blast, then one Gauss round, one Heat Blast, one Ricochet, one Heat Blast, one Gauss round, and, just, keep going through that. Now, the way that they've changed Hypercharge is where you now get, 5 stacks of Overheated, so you can only use Heat Blast 5 times. However, literally one update ago, I think, the way that it worked before was that you had a certain amount of time. So that you had, the 10 seconds over here, I think. So depending on your ping, you could, do more or less with it. So I think that's the reason why they changed it, that they made it, have just 5 stacks, just 5 shots, just so that, if you have bad ping, then you're not screwed over. Anyway, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode of this. I was playing... Wait, what am I doing? Scratch that noise. I'm so used to, Jesus, no. Sorry, that was not my intention. It probably created a lot of devastation, though. Anyway, the thing that we're going to go and do right now, or I in any case I'm going to do, is level up my jobs to level 40. And then we will be back for, I think, maybe 1 or 2 quests. Alright, a day and some roulette later. Is it a day? I think it's 2 days, actually. Oh, well. Anyway. What's happening? Okay, there we go. Let's go and continue. Oh, we get Edge of Darkness, yes. You look well, Lynn. More determined. You have not heard the voice since last we spoke. I know, but worry not. If your affinity with your dark side is as strong as I believe, then communion is all you require. Come with me to the burning wall. You know what you must do. Man, it's been a freaking day. Well, it's been a freaking 2 days, really. Needed to cut down a tree in the yard. And that took a lot out of me. And it's not even done yet. Well, the tree is mostly gone, but all the tree limbs, the tree bits are still there. Still need to clean them up. But that is for another day. So for now I can just casually enjoy my FF14 recording. Alright. It begins, as always, with blood, a confirmation of your identity. There are axe beaks here, which have grown ferocious beyond reckoning. Vile creatures, eager to prey on man and beast alike. Offer yourself to them, they will come. Then make an offering of them to me. I like how this person's doing the identical quest as me. Oh no! I've been gnomed! No. Not particularly. These aren't really gnomes. There we go. Ah, now that is the Lyn I've longed to see. You resent this, don't you? This pointless trial. Perhaps you even resent me for subjecting you to it. Remember this feeling. Treasure it. I want it smoldering within you when we commune in Camp Drybone. Back to Camp Drybone. Close your eyes and hold out your hand towards me. Breathe deep through your nose. Let the air fill your lungs. Then let it pass from your lips. Slower. Slower. Listen to my voice. Listen to your heartbeat. Listen for the other. Thank the 12, it is you, Lyn. Isambard, remember? Must have been ages since last we spoke. To think that you would end up slaying the Lord of the Inferno. When you first came through looking for missing common folk, I took you for... Ah, but this isn't the time to reminisce. I sought you out because I need your help. Do tell. Not long ago, an Amalja raiding party attacked a caravan on the road and abducted several pilgrims. We reported the incident to both the Brass Blades and the Immortal Flames, but it seems neither is in a position to muster forces at present. You know what lies in store should they not be rescued soon. Please, Lyn, there is no one else. Really? Charge into an enemy encampment filled with Amalja warriors and free some fools who should have armed themselves? Risk life and limb to do the work of a dozen men, all because you bloody asked? Is that it? That's what we do. But that's what we do, isn't it? Every goddamn time. Fine, we'll bring them back. I thank you for... They were bound for the encampment to the southeast. And so are we. Horse. It's actually an instance, okay. The nerve of some people, after all you do for them. They're inside, just as Isambard said, mere moments away from being tempered, I'm sure. Well, what are you waiting for? It's time to play a hero. That it is. You're not far ahead. Lead the way. God's bless you, adventure. Keep moving, we're not free just yet. Where's... Okay, so they're going this way. Raleigh, do not let them escape. Kill every last one of them. Of course there's more. There's always more. Right, where are we running? Are we running this way? Yes, we are. Also, we got a combo to the AoE, which is Stalwart Soul. By the way. So is this where we go? Or... where? Yeah, this one man just needs to get the fuck over here. Come on, man. Keep running. Run. Get yourself to Camp Drybone. You will pay for your insolence. Will I die? Oh, what a day. What a lovely day. I've had my fill. Let's go. Oh. Just didn't know when to leave off, did they? Neither did you, though, hey? I mean, look at yourself. Most of that's not even your blood. Most of that's not even your blood. There we go. Leave it. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Let's go and give Isambard the good news. Oh, welcome back, Lynn. I heard you really gave us a Malta what for. Good show. I'm sure you're eager to be on your way, so I won't waste any more of your time, but thank you. Come back whenever you like. Those who have never faced defeat do not scruple, or not have... Those who have never faced death do not scruple to condemn others to it. They know nothing of true sacrifice, and are weak for their ignorance. In sacrifice there is strength. In sacrifice there is liberation. Close your eyes and hold out your hand towards me. Breathe deep through your nose. Let the air fill your lungs. Then let it pass from your lips. Slower. Slower. Upturning to the darkness. With every breath you grow lighter and slip further into the abyss. Oh, right. On a throne of bone, she waits. Serve, save, slave, slay. They come to entreat her judgment. Serve, save, slave, slay. One by one, in solemn procession. So, what did you hear this time? And there I was thinking you were on the verge of discerning the truth. Your affinity with your dark side grows stronger by the day, and yet there is a hesitation. Listen to me, Lynn. You have performed great deeds and saved countless people. You are a hero to the realm. But you are no Dark Knight. A Dark Knight accepts that she cannot save everyone. That sometimes she is fortunate just to save herself. Sacrifice, Lynn, is to renounce that which binds you, to recognize that which matters, and forsake all that does not. At the very least, you must realize that you cannot continue to carry all these burdens, unless you wish to die a slave. I'm fine, just a little tired. The communion is ended, and with it our time together, but we shall meet again, so we did before. As we get Edge of Shadow! Or Edge of Darkness? Edge of Darkness, yeah. Which is the single target variety of Flood of Darkness. So you have like a single target version of it. Right. And with that, we are going to move on to Astrologian. We'll see how far we can get with all of this shenanigans. I'm presuming that there's not anything better for me right now. Nope. Okay. Are you doing well, Lynn? Well then. Well, then that at least makes two of us. I mean... Oh. I cannot keep such important news from you, Lynn. Lady Laviva and Quimperain just last night fell victim. They fell victim to another ambush at the hands of bandits. The ever-resourceful Quimperain proved his invaluable worth once again with a dashing display of chivalry that would shame any knight in the sea. A statement that attests to the sorry state of our knights. But that is a chat we can have over a different cup of tea. When Lady Laviva attempted to retire to her room at that filthy inn in the Broom, I had our sorely disused second floor cleared and furnished with trappings from my own home. She is up there now, and asked to see you the moment you arrive. Wait, you don't seem at all surprised to see me here. Did Jenny Kennard tell you of the attack? Damn the fool. And after I told him to keep his mouth shut. Though, I suppose I must bear some of the fault for ever thinking he could do as he was told. Shrug. Now, I suppose you are wondering why I summoned you here to these makeshift chambers. And no, it has not to do with the bandit attacks. It appears, the bandit attacks, it appears are much more common in your realm than I thought, jeez. There are times when the heavens may provide you with a vision of the future, or of a future, that is slightly beyond your original aim. In these cases, the stars are not flawed, only out of order. So by shuffling a card back into the deck, we are in no way ignoring or denying a future, merely postponing a reading intended for a later date, and replacing it with something that better pertains to the present. I trust that you will pick up this technique swifter than Jenny Kennard. So we get... I don't remember the name of the skill. Redraw, maybe? Yep, redraw. So if you get a card, let me go and just show this off. I need to make sure that it's on the correct button. There we go. So for instance, I get like a spear right now, but I want a ranged, like a ranged card. Then I would redraw, and depending on your RNG, you will either get the card that you need or not. It just gives you like one single chance to redraw it. Are you ready, my people? The gate to the Forest Heaven awaits. However, the location I have chosen for attunement will not remain the most optimal for long. You are to travel with Jenny Kennard, and I will make the journey with Quimperain. There are no objections. There are no objections? Good. Right. If it is Lady Laviva you seek, she just left with Quimperain for Limsa. If you make haste, you may still be able to catch them at the airship landing. Me? As much as I would like to indulge myself on the pillows of Rotano, pleasure barges, there is a congress to be held in the vault, and all the prominent houses have been summoned. My presence at such an event would be sorely missed, so I fear this next lesson must needs proceed without me. I'm certain the Lady Laviva will understand. I can always open the third gate another day, or is it the fourth? The third or fourth, it is of no matter. The stars certainly will not be going anywhere. You enter Limsa, the first thing you read is, I'm tired, in the chat. Milady, the Lady Laviva is missing. We disembarked the airship together, but became separated in chaos at the landing. Seeing as how the lady has found herself the victim of bandit attacks twice since arriving in Eorzea, I fear she may be targeted once again, especially considering the location. This is my first time setting foot in Limsa, but I have been made aware of its landmarks. Might I suggest we search independently so that we might cover more ground? I shall start with several of the seemingly more disreputable locations, such as the Drowning Wench, the Astalicia, and the Missing Member. Would Milady be so kind as to search Fisherman's Bottom and the Coral Tower? Let us meet at the 7th Sage once our survey is complete. How loud we running? Twenty odd summer since I spilled from my ma's loins, and ain't once I ever heard the word astrologian. Now in the span of 2 bloody bells, I gone on I gone and met myself not one, but an honest to goodness pair of life star goppers. Jesus Christ. Didn't see where that other fair-skinned lass buggered off to. One's as that. Though often end up in on the pleasure barges, if you catch my drift. Man, I'm so happy that I don't have to deal with, like, laments and accents that much anymore. Because it's kind of nasty. Another theologian. How odd. It's not often that even our city-state, known for its diversity, welcomes a single reader of the stars through its gates. Let alone two. And in the same day, no less. Yes, I took a few moments from my duties to speak with her about the city-state. She seemed quite interested in our dealings with the Sahagin, the Serpent Reavers, and the Guardian Empire. I told her what I could, but she left after only a few moments. It was as if she thought she was being pursued. But the Charlian was gone before I could assign her a yellow jacket escort. Ugh, give me a moment. Alright. One cat problem later. Oh, I seed me a stuffy lass in rum garb, poking her lovely head in holes where it weren't wanted. This where we get one so worldly down in the gurgling belly of the tower. I had to halt trading to work out what that fuss was about. The maid inquired as to where she might find herself a nip or two of some of the strong stuff, so I pointed her in the direction of a resident apothecary, Carvalane over at the Seven Sage. Run, bitch, run! Well then, I bear good tidings. The Lady Laviva is scheduled to return here within a matter of bells. Seems she entered a contract with Carvalane for the purchase of several of the apothecary's wares. An interesting girl, that one. Very rarely do we see young maidens walk the Leamington streets without escort. And almost never do they come to me seeking spice. Still, she did appear quite uneasy, as if being watched or followed. Suspicious, I must say. Not uncommon in our fair city. Might she be in some manner of trouble? Those few who agreed to speak with me at the Drowning Wench and the missing member claimed the same. My short stay on the Astalicia bore no fruit whatsoever. What were you able to find, my lady? I see. So we have ascertained that the lady is being followed, and that she is aware of the fact. If this is the case, I believe she will attempt to move somewhere she will be in plain sight of as many people as possible. I doubt it will help in this town. Kidnappings and killings are conducted in broad daylight here, and when they happen, most people just keep their heads down, so as to not have them removed from their shoulders. 12, damn this town. My lady, I shall set out once more and try to locate Lady Laviva. There's still a chance she may return here on her own, so I ask that you remain in case she does. If she has not arrived at the rendezvous point by the time of her scheduled meeting with Carvalane, then we shall both go to the one location that is most populated after the sun falls in Limzo, the Drowning Wench. An instance. It appears that your companion is tied up. Not literally, I hope. Perhaps you should head to the wench and see if she is there like your friend believes. Though I fear that if she did not make it that far, you may never find her again, at least not alive. Worry not, my starry-eyed friends, if by chance she were to arrive. Here, after your departure, you have my word that no harm shall come to her while she remains behind the Seven Sages' doors. Bum, 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 boom, boom, boom. Woman in black, what's wrong with the woman standing before you? Boy, if you don't. There's nobody down there. Want to see me, alas, scurrying off to the Highland? Someone not save me. Suspicious astrologian. Brave knight in shining armor, come and give me gutter a kiss. What the fuck? Within bosses, we seek to keep us occupied while the leader pursues Lady Laviva. We must be quick. That's intriguing. So it's stall us must mean Lady Listen, follow me, she's yeah. We must save Lady Laviva. Yes. Chokes on you. Like moths to a flame. If it's fiery piss to somebody of his damn bloke's armor. Which one is Lady Laviva? Oh, it's Lady Laviva. You have to even ask, Quimperain. Lady Lyn, I cannot trust even my own eyes. Which one is the true Laviva? This one. Hey. Quite clever of you. Toss balls. I thought that she was one of us. Oh god. One of us. One of us. Dang a diggly dead. Little Viva, you have my apologies. It was my fault. I allowed us to become separated. Do not blame yourself, Quimperain. I sensed danger at the landing, and it was my instinct to run, as ever I have. I forgot that I could trust you. Unfortunately, by the time I realized such, there was no sign of you, and so I did what I could to blend in, choosing crowded places, speaking with as many locals as possible, though all the while feeling there were unseen eyes watching my every move. By the time I realized that my pursuers were simply leading me away from you, night had already fallen, giving them the perfect opportunity to strike. It was then that I witnessed several of the bandits had disguised themselves in garbs similar to mine. I assumed this was to confuse the two of you still searching for me. It was then I conceived the idea to play the part of an imposter myself. Why hide in the shadows when you can hide in plain sight? That was quite brilliant of you, Lady Laviva. May I ask, were you at any time able to discern who these pursuers were? The amount of effort put into your capture would suggest that they are far more than mere pirates looking to sell you to slavers. Unfortunately, no. And I wasn't about to walk up and ask them who they were or who had hired them. But that is all behind us now. Let us see if we can salvage something from this horrible night. The fourth gate ascends nearby, Lyn. Shall we not see it made yours? To the anchor yard. Is it just going to go to another cutscene? Yes. Sorry, I was distracted. Well, I'll be aboard a calling a Kraken's arse. If it ain't the star goppin' lassie come to scurry, to scry us our fortunes. Tell us, Which one of you'll be dying first, like? The bait red knight with a carp in his cup piece, or the stern-faced adventurer under a high hobby horse? Where's my cat and what is she doing? God damn it, how many pirates are in this godforsaken hell? Dun, dun, dun. Bruh. I'm recording. There we go. Couldn't was not worth losing my life over. Farewell, my lady. Are you serious? I just gave that to myself. I feel so weak. Kind of ridiculous. Hey, Brunbar and Bekeva here. Well met, new friends. And apparently a new Blaze Keepers from our pride, boys. Master of the mate, that's all I was told. But quite a Thursday I have. Found some upset by any more pirates and brigands. I'll be wetting my fring. And some other stuff. A lot of dialogue. Get fucked. It's the same lady from before. Haha, lay down them weapons or I'll cut the old man a new grin under his chin. I cannot believe that actually worked. Nor can I, but then again, never have I thought someone so credulous. Now, let us do this as they do in the fear babes. You step over here, I'll let the man go. Easy peasy. Wait, I know you. You're the bandit leader who attacked Lady Elviva's grandfather in the Black Shroud. Someone has a good memory for being so on in years. Well then, this changes everything. First off, I can finally drop this annoying pirate accent. And secondly, I suppose I can simply kill you now, rather than after pretending to let you go once the lady has drawn close enough. Stop right there, and hand that man or I'll have your head tarred on the prow of a galley by Cockrow. First maniacal marauders, then feline fishers, and now the commodore of the Swiven thalassocratic navy. How many more gods is this machine going to drop on me? Until next time, Lady Lviva. He just walks off. You have my apologies. I was a fool to fall for the bandit's trick. Amazing. In all my years, that was the first time I've ever seen that feigning death trick actually work. But now is not the moment to be dwelling on our many failings. I have a dastard to apprehend. You'd be surprised how often people run after being told to stop right there. Lady Lviva, that pirate, she was the same bandit who... Yes, I know, and that changes little, for I still have no idea who she may be, or who she may be working for. There's naught we can do until the Commodore brings the woman to justice, or until she decides to attack us again. What we can do is what we came here for, Lynn's training. Now, look to the stars and behold the arrow. The fourth heaven, or the Heaven of Winds, was created atop a lofty peak by Oshon the Wanderer, whose footsteps had been guided by the Navigator. The wind that blows off of Limlian seas guides the arrow fast and true, and so shall it deliver the weary souls of those trapped in the mire of confusion, indecision, and over-contemplation. The fourth heaven has opened its gate, allowing you access to its sacred penetralia. From this day forth, its power is yours to interpret and wield. That power will further aid you as you continue to hone your skills. Now, let us return to Ishgard. I have a few words for a certain student of mine who felt inclined to forgo this particular lesson. Hallelujah. So much text suddenly appears in my chat. That was quite the expanded little quest. I knew it was gonna be like an instance quest, because they tend to like all have the same rhythm to them, I guess. But I didn't expect it to take that long. Ah, Lynn, you might have had the decency to warn... wait, what? You might have had the decency to warn me that Lady Lviva was in a mood with me for not joining you. She seemed to think I was to blame for your misadventures. Now, why would that be? It is not as if my being there would have prevented the bandits from attempting to abduct Lviva. These being the same bandits who attacked you in the Black Shroud, which, by the way, is another location I was not at. This is plainly something far beyond our control. And furthermore, it is not as if I was merely sipping cordials and waltzing with baronets. I was helping further our cause. I spoke with several high-ranking cardinals about Lady Lviva being granted the opportunity to speak at the vault regarding Charlene astrology. What do you think of that? I was politely turned down, of course, but it is the gesture that that will one day lead to another gesture, that will one day lead to a head inclined slightly in the direction, in the general direction of another gesture. Little steps, my protege, little steps. I do like Janikinar. It's pretty funny. Anyways, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode of us playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we're gonna go and deal with the Machinist quest, and then I'm gonna be grinding more. Goodbye.